The story begins in chaos. A violent storm tears across the sea. Thunder splits the sky. Waves crash against a ship as sailors shout and nobles cling to the deck. The vessel is driven helplessly through wind and water, breaking apart beneath the force of the tempest. The sea itself seems alive, roaring, heaving, swallowing light and sound. The cries of men are torn away by wind. Orders are lost in the thunder. For those aboard, there is no longer land, no direction, only the certainty of ruin. Amongst those aboard are Alonso, King of Naples, his son Ferdinand, Sebastian, the king's brother, and Antonio, the Duke of Milan. They believe themselves lost. But the storm is no accident. On a distant island stands Prospero, once Duke of Milan, now a master of magic. Beside him is his daughter Miranda, who has known no world but this island. As the storm rages, Miranda watches in fear and pleads with her father.
"If by your art, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them."
Prospero assures her that no harm has been done. The tempest was raised not to destroy, but to bring his enemies to him. Years earlier, Prospero was betrayed by his brother Antonio, who seized his dukedom with the help of Alonso. Cast out to sea with his infant daughter, Prospero survived and came to this island, where he learned the arts of magic and patience. Time passed, knowledge deepened, power grew, and with it a long and silent resolve. Now fate has delivered his enemies back into his reach. The island itself is alive. It breathes, it listens, it answers. It is home to Ariel, an airy spirit bound to Prospero's service, swift as thought, light as breath, unseen yet ever present. Ariel rides the wind, shapes flame and music, whispers through leaves and waves. Every gust of wind, every echo of song, every sudden silence carries his presence. He is not cruel, but he longs for freedom, and he obeys because he must. The island is also home to Caliban, son of a witch, part man and part beast, who once ruled this land before Prospero arrived. Though bitter and enslaved, Caliban speaks with strange beauty of the place he loves. "Be not afeard, the isle is full of noises, sounds and sweet airs, that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometime voices, that if I then had waked after long sleep, will make me sleep again, and then in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me, that, when I waked, I cried to dream again." His words echoed through the island like memory itself, a reminder that even in bitterness, wonder remains. Meanwhile, Ferdinand, separated from the wreck, wanders the island alone. Believing his father drowned, he follows distant music drifting through the trees. It is Ariel's voice leading him onward. Through the forest he walks, drawn by sound and fate, until he meets Miranda. Their meeting is instant and profound. They stand as if the world has stilled. Miranda, seeing another young man for the first time, whispers in wonder,
"I might call him a thing divine."
Prospero watches closely. Though he approves, he does not reveal it. Love, he knows, must be tested, not granted freely. He sets Ferdinand to labour, carrying heavy logs across the island. The work is hard, his body aches, his hands blister. Yet Ferdinand does not complain. Each burden is made lighter by the thought of Miranda. Each step is taken willingly. Love for him is not a comfort, but a devotion. Miranda begs her father to show mercy, but Prospero watches with quiet satisfaction. He sees patience, endurance, and honour. Love, he knows, must be tempered before it can endure. Elsewhere on the island, grief walks beside guilt. Alonso wanders in despair, convinced his son has drowned. The weight of regret bends him low, regret for past cruelty, for broken loyalties, for the cost of power. But not all hearts are softened by sorrow. Antonio, still hungry for power, whispers once more of murder. With Sebastian at his side, he plots to seize the crown even here, on this haunted shore. They do not know they are watched. Invisible and silent, Ariel drifts above them, listening. Their words are carried on the wind to Prospero's ear. Each scheme is allowed to form, but never to succeed. The island itself seems to wait. As events draw toward their end, Prospero prepares his final enchantment. He summons the spirits of air and earth. Music rises, light shimmers, the world softens. Before Ferdinand and Miranda appears a mask, a vision of harmony and blessing. Shapes move like dreams. Voices sing of union, of peace, of a future unburdened by the past. For a moment, the island feels whole. Then suddenly, the vision fades. The music dissolves. The light vanishes. Prospero grows still, and he speaks. "You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. These are actors, as I foretold you. We're all spirits, and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit, shall dissolve, and, like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. The magic that once empowered him now weighs heavily upon him. The moment of reckoning has come. Prospero gathers his enemies before him. Alonso stands broken with grief. Antonio stands silent, exposed. Prospero could take revenge. Instead, he chooses mercy. Then, standing alone, he calls upon the forces that once served him. Ye elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, and ye that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune and do fly him when he comes back. You demi-puppets that by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the yew not bites. And you whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms that rejoice to hear the solemn curfew, by whose aid, weak masters though ye be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azured vault set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong-based promontory have I made shake, and by the spurs plucked up the pine and cedar. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oped and let 'em forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I here abjure, and when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. Ariel is freed, Caliban repents, Ferdinand and Miranda are reunited with Alonso. The storm has passed, the magic is gone. At last Prospero steps forward, no longer a sorcerer, but a man. He speaks directly to the audience. Now my charms are all overthrown, and what strength I have's mine own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardoned the deceiver, dwell in this bare island by your spell, but release me from my bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults, mercy itself, and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set me free. This final speech is Prospero's farewell. Having used his magic to bring justice and restore what was lost, he now lays that power aside and asks to be released, not by spells, but by forgiveness. In speaking directly to the audience, he reminds us that mercy, not revenge, brings true peace. The story ends not with triumph or spectacle, but with humility, compassion, and the quiet hope of freedom. The story ends not with thunder, but with forgiveness.